Hey everybody, welcome once again. I'm Adam Ringler and I'm here with the Former Athlete Society. And whether you're tuning in live or catching this YouTube as a replay, welcome to this channel. This is just another one of our accountability calls. I have them every single Tuesday, and it's where we talk about practical, real world strategies to help keep you consistent with your training, your nutrition, and really just your overall lifestyle. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, I want to welcome you here. If you're a repeat person that's been viewing this channel for a while, I want to say thank you for tuning in, right? Subscribing, liking, again, I appreciate you more than you would ever know. So continue to check out this YouTube. There's a plenty of great information in here. And for everybody that is new to our channel, there's a couple different things about us, right? My name, again, Adam Ringler. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I've been a sports scientist all of my career here working in intercollegiate athletics. And I'm trying to bring some of the best information from the most elite athletes that we've worked with and apply it to a population like our Former Athlete Society. So, I say this a lot in our calls. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters and doing it more consistently. And that's the game we're going to talk about today. I've got 5 topics that I think will resonate with us, former athletes who want to sort of, grip what the world's elite is doing and trying to take some of those lessons, those disciplines, those habits, and apply it to ourselves. So we're going to kind of dive deep into those things. I'm going to talk a little bit about sort of how you can manipulate your training schedule, your meal plans, and now, I'm just going to end up trying to put the finishing touches on some of the things I think would really deliver some really great value for you and deliver some things that you can apply. So let's jump into the very first thing that we'll talk about today, and that is sort of around rotating your exercises, right? So doing the same workout every single Monday, you're probably killing your gains without ever even realizing it. So that's the first thing on the docket. Exercise rotation. Now, this is something that I breathe into my own training, and it's absolutely a critical piece in keeping me training for the longevity and also for training more consistently and while still progressing. So here's how I approach it. For me, I got 3 upper body workouts and 3 lower body workouts that are programmed across my training split. Now, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, those are my designated lift days, I simply rotate them in a sequence that looks like on week 1, I might hit what looks like my upper body 1 workout. So I would hit that on Monday. My lower body 1 on Wednesday and my upper body on Friday, right? Upper 2 on Friday. Now, week 2, right? I just continue along the sequence, right? I'd move to lower 2 on Monday, upper 3 on Wednesday, and lower 3 on Friday. On week 3 now, I'm right back to where I was with my upper body 1, right? So I have 3 variations of lower body workouts, 3 variations of upper body workouts. And I do this because my body actually loves some variety in the training motions, right? In the movements I do. I don't end up stagnating on a exercise that I might be struggling with because I hit it every single Monday, right? I have some variety in my training plan. And I do this quite frankly because progressive overload can stall really, really fast when we're repeating the same movement patterns over and over. You start to lose that adaptive edge, and your joints, especially if you're like my age, you're creeping into your 30s and 40s, they start talking back to you, right? So by rotating through 6 total different workouts, I get variety in movement selection and stimulus variation in muscles and tendons, and probably most importantly, my mind, right? I avoid the mental burnout that comes from just hammering the same lifts every single Monday like clockwork. So I want you to begin thinking about this as a former athlete, right? You probably thrived on periodization. Your coaches periodized seasons and lifted different in season versus off season, and you responded because your body was always sort of adapting. Now, this is just a micro version of that philosophy. Keep your big rocks, right? Your squats, your hinges, your press, but maybe rotate your accessory work, right? Your grips, your tempos, and watch how it keeps you from feeling stale, quite frankly. And yes, it takes some forethought, but isn't your health worth a little bit of intentional planning throughout your day, right? I just find that so many athletes, they get into this graduation mode and then they forget about all the things that they've done during college, right? those things that you did during college, those will continue to serve you well past graduation date, right? So a couple of things here I do want to pause, right? You can find my information at adamringler.com. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm pretty much everywhere, right? But more importantly on that, I need you to like, subscribe, right? Hit the notifications bell and sign up and be part of our community here. We're really trying to deliver some great educational content for you to better your health, right? So topic number 2, and this is a big one. I want to make sure that we dive into this because I think it's important for a lot of people. If you're eating carbs all wrong, you're probably sabotaging your recovery. There it is. We're going to talk about carbs, specifically bracketing them around your training. Now, this is a habit I picked up probably a decade and a half ago, and that's been really sort of a revelation for my energy and my recovery. So on days that I train later in the day, I keep my carbs lower in the morning. So my meals might look like more fats and proteins, and then I start ramping them up pre-training. Now, why would I do that? Because carbs are your body's preferred fuel for high intensity work like lifting and sprinting and conditioning, etc. And eating them before a session gives you that glycogen bump, which translates to better work output. And then post-training, because I did so much intensity during my training, I load a little bit more with carbs again. And this isn't just about refueling, it's about signaling recovery in our body. So post-workout is when your muscles are probably most insulin sensitive, meaning that they're primed to pull glucose from your bloodstream and shuttle it into muscle tissues to replenish those glycogen stores. It's like a window where your body is begging for fuel. Now, after that window, I tend to taper carbs back down into the evening, especially if I'm not doing anything super active in the evening, right? And this strategy helps me avoid sort of big energy crashes and maybe like bloating during the day, whatever, right? Plus, it's a nice psychological cue. Carbs become something tied to movement and to training, and they're just not mindless snacking for me, right? It's not about going keto or going zero carbs or low carb. It's about timing them where they're going to do the most good for you. Now, former athletes tend to already know this sort of instinctively, right? During years of pregame meals and recovery shakes, we're just applying it maybe in a new context, right? So start thinking about how you can utilize your carbohydrates in a way that actually facilitates growth and your body's performance and recovery, while also maybe allowing for that body composition change to naturally occur. When you do that, I promise you, your body will love you for it. Now, kind of stopping here, a couple different things. If you have been a longtime subscriber of this YouTube channel, you already know that you can head over to my website, adamringler.com. You can find all of our long form articles there, right? You can sign up, you can become a member of our Former Athlete Society. You'll get replays of all of our videos and everything else, and exclusive member access to some of our private articles, private videos, and the community that we have there as well. So moving on. And this is a big one, right? I see this all the time. Drinking gallons of water, but are you still feeling drained? Here's what you're missing. So I want to talk about hydration and more specifically, electrolyte usage. Now I'm going to be honest with you that drinking plain water for me bores me. And I probably drink nearly 200 ounces a day, which is about where, I'm at on an average. I don't have it right on my desk here, but I drink generally 4 50-ounce big old Yeti Yonders. And even that in itself can feel like a job, more so than what I do with collegiate athletics. So here's my cheat code. I add some meal hydration drops, about 3 little small squeezes of some minerals into my water. I add a pinch of sea salt into my water as well, and that's 0 calories. And I end up mixing a little Crystal Light in it just to give me a little sweet taste. And I'm telling you, I love it so much. It's my guilty pleasure, if you will, right? It completely transforms the hydration game for me, right? That little bit of sodium actually helps retain the water that you're drinking. And it ensures that it's actually making its way into your cells, and it's not just sending you on repeat trips to the bathroom, right? We've all been there. That's not fun. Former athletes often sweat more than the average person because our thermoregulation systems got trained for years and years and years of intense work. We're already carrying more muscle mass, which means that more water demands is needed for our body. And then you throw in caffeine consumption, occasional sauna work, and you can easily slide into dehydration. So if plain water for you, if it leaves you feeling bloated or sloshy, maybe add some electrolytes. It's one of the most simplest hacks to stack on top of what you're already doing nutritionally and hydration wise. And you'll notice it, the energy and the mental clarity and even your training output improve. Right. So check that out. That's been a huge game changer for me. It's been something that I've advocated for all of our athletes. They love it. They like it. They want to continue and end up using it. Hydration is not something that you should just forget about. It should be a mainstay in what we're doing. Now, this next thing might feel like a weird topic to talk about, but I don't think it is. I honestly don't. It's been something that I've long practiced in my own personal life. It's been something I've advocated for our athletes ever since I've gotten into coaching. The best recovery tool, it's not a supplement, it's not a gadget, it's probably meditation. And that's a bold take, and I'll stand by it and I'll try to support it here, right? I want to talk about something that's less physical, but arguably just as important, and that's meditation. Now, if you asked me maybe 15 years ago if I'd be doing 30-minute meditation sessions every single day, I would have laughed at you, right? But here I am. I would have said, hey, you know what, Adam? I don't have the time for that. I'm too busy to meditate. Now, for me, I started with Headspace, and I did the 5 minutes a day, no pressure. That was easy. Then I dabbled with Kevin Rose's Oak meditation. I did that for 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, built a routine surrounding that. But lately, I've been using Henry Schuckman's The Way app. Now, for me, I love Henry Schuckman's app. I think it's the most intuitive meditation app out there. It is a paid app, so I'll give you that. But it is the most phenomenal singularity of path towards meditation. He's a Zen master, amazing practitioner. Now, it resonates deeply with me for a couple different reasons. Now, why does this matter for former athletes? Because your nervous system needs recovery just as much as your muscles do. You're not no longer surrounded by the structure and the social environment of a team. You got life stressors that are piling up and they hit different post-college. A meditation practice actually helps you regulate that sympathetic fight or flight response. And you spend more time in that parasympathetic rest and digest mode. That's so critical for athletes. We need this. Our body is going to absolutely try to destroy ourselves if we can't manage what's happening right here. So I'd advocate for this. Start with 5 minutes a day. Consistency beats intensity here. So don't immediately try to go to 30 minutes a day. Start with 5. Build a routine around 5 minutes. Once it's part of your routine, add minutes gradually. And I promise you'll notice it. Not just in your stress levels, but in how you show up for training, your work, your relationships, your family, your people, right? It's so critical in this. Now, if you've joined me thus far, right? I was checking out our YouTube numbers, right? Our comments, our analytics. I know we can do a little bit better here. So I need you to comment, I need you to like, I need you to share this video, hit the notification bell as well, sign up, subscribe to this channel, and let's build this thing together. This last topic I'm going to talk about is maybe arguably for former athletes, particularly males out there. I'm looking right at you right now. This is critical for you because very rarely will you have people that discuss this unless you're going to your primary care physician. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one. I'm just a strength coach. You know that. You've seen it right over here. Adam Ringler, strength and conditioning, not MD. That said, this silent killer is creeping up on former athletes, and you won't even feel it coming. So I need to start to talk about blood pressure. Now, I'm going to pause this right here. This is my Witherings right here. Vision BPM blood pressure monitoring cuff. Now, I can't stress this enough. If you're a man over 35, you need to know your numbers. You need to. You absolutely have to, right? Hypertension is called the silent killer for a reason. You don't even feel it creeping up until something goes sideways. You become my age, you're 40 years old, 45, maybe you're getting into your 50s, and you never even realize that you're hypertension, right? I use the Witherings BPM, the Vision cuff, every other morning. I take 3 readings back to back. There's a minute in between. It's an automated setting in it, syncs with my Apple Health. And from there, I track trends, not just one-off spikes, but I pair that with monitoring my stress levels in my Bevel Health app. Again, I've talked about Bevel before, certainly on my social media, but if not, it pairs with your Apple Watch. It's an application on your phone. It's kind of like Aura. It's kind of like Whoop. It brings in all of your Apple Watch metrics, your HRV, your resting heart rate, your sleep data, and kind of aggregates that data in a very intelligent way. Now, I look at all of those things. Now, this isn't paranoia for me. It's data. And data gives you control, right? Peter Drucker often would say that you can't manage what you don't measure. So when you know your baselines, you can make small actionable changes. More sleep, less sodium, right? Consistent cardio, more sauna, less saturated fat, all of that stuff that keeps you out of the danger zone. And this is the kind of habit that feels kind of boring until it saves your life. So some closing thoughts for our accountability call. Again, I try to keep these 15 to 20 minutes. That's going to be our 5 topics for the accountability call. Now, remember, none of this works without consistency. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to pick one thing from today, just one. And that one thing, you need to implement it. Then build from there. Start with 1, build 2 habits, build 3 habits, right? But the consistency is what really matters. Now, if you joined me thus far, a couple different things. One more time, I need you to like, subscribe, right? Hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. Be part of our community. And as always, you can always head over to adamringler.com. This is where all of my articles are at. I want you to be part of our former athlete society that we're building. We're building something special here. I want you to be a part of it, okay? Until then, guys, stay strong, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next call. Appreciate every single one of you.